What's up, my beautiful people? Exile451 here with yet another daily dose of Reddit Happy. And speaking of happy, that's the sub we're going back to today, r/happy. So, let's get to it. Our first post is from user 2353722340002. Hello, awesome people of Reddit. Today, I realized that I've reached that point in life where I am what I always wanted to be, and I'm supremely happy. I always wanted to be a successful entrepreneur while not falling for the usual trap of becoming a heartless capitalist. I'm running a successful business for the last 10 years with around 100 employees, and I am proud to say that even though I've been in situations where I could have made more money by taking advantage of them, I never did that. Let go of some very good opportunities of making a lot of money, but still never did that. Most of the people in my company are working for a long time and have not left the job. I must have been doing something right. Despite my everyday struggle with ADHD and not being good at the academic scene, I've taught myself so many things by myself that I'm just really super proud of it. In addition to all that, I've been a really good and supportive member of my extended family, helping a lot of younger kids by going out and breaking a lot of crappy norms of caste, gender, religion, and race, even by risking my position in society at the risk of becoming an outcast from my family. It all turned out well. They all still like and respect me and are now emulating me by getting out of these shackles and standing up against narrow-mindedness. I've helped my parents a lot in their old age, and apparently they're also really proud of me. Their words, not mine. So, all in all, despite not getting a good education, coming from a lower middle class economic background, addled with issues like ADHD and dyslexia, I'm the guy who made it. Got the girl I love way before business and success. Happily married 6 years now, have a successful business which I started myself from scratch without any financial help from my friends or family or venture capitalists, and I've been running it for 10 years successfully without selling my soul. Made around 60 people really happy by giving them jobs they otherwise wouldn't have gotten, and seeing them thrive just gives me so much joy. All this while also being a good, wholesome member of my society and family. It makes me really happy to suddenly realize that this is all I wanted to be and how awesome it is to be me. I feel so blessed and grateful. Well, OP grats. Not everyone gets to be blessed like that. Not everyone actually gets to succeed when they try something entrepreneurial like that. The fact that you have and you've been able to help out so many people and taken a joy in just that says a lot about you. That you do put people ahead of money. I mean, sometimes, yeah, it's not unfair to ask a little more of your employees than what you normally do if it's something big. But I mean, it sounds like you've gone out of your way to avoid situations like that where you might be working them too hard and just becoming a slave to the almighty dollar. That says a lot about your character and really sets a good example for what I think a lot of small businesses, entrepreneurs really need to keep in mind, especially at the outset. People are people, they're not just a number. And while, yeah, you should be profit-driven and motivated towards that, there is an inherent personnel cost when you push people too far. Regardless of all that, though, it sounds like you're using your position and what you've been able to do with your life to help better the lives of not just your employees, but also your family and those around you. You're a great example, and you should take a lot of pride in that. Thank you so much for sharing the post, and I really wish you the best with whatever you're doing now. Our next post comes from user AnnieBanani1. After a very hard work week, one of my tenants called me and made my week. Sorry in advance, I've never posted to this sub and this is going to be a little long, but I wanted to share this uplifting experience. To preface, I work as a building manager dealing with the day-to-day dealings and issues in a large apartment complex. My job can be very draining, as well as physically and emotionally exhausting. This week was very hard as I had an issue with a resident being very volatile and many of the residents were upset. And unfortunately, I am the first face they see when that happens, so I get a lot of negative words and insults thrown my way. I came home today, but I'm on call, and one of my tenants' names popped up on the after-hours phone and I picked up, as you do. Ready to get another grievance regarding the disruptive tenant. What I got instead was completely the opposite. I don't usually speak much about my residents, however, This wonderful person is someone that I feel I need to talk about. This tenant is so lovely. She is so sweet, and in every interaction, she tells me how much she loves living there and that she is so happy with how the place has changed for the better since I took over. She asked to extend her lease and told me that I was kind and wonderful. I needed to hear that after this week. She is so full of kindness and support. She works with children with disabilities, and her patience and grace comes through in everything she does. She even said how grateful she was that I answered the phone even though it was after hours. I was off about 2 hours prior. She also said that she had lived in a complex when she was in her youth and was happy to see more activities that I had started doing to get to know your neighbors better. She made my whole day. Her and people like her are the reason that the world has safe places and light in a world that can at times feel unrelenting and bleak. If you are on this subreddit, you're a person who contributes to that, and I thank you. Well, brief, but one that I know I definitely can relate to. Where my wife and I live, I'm the property manager, as this converted house is owned by my parents, and it's basically my way of paying rent. I mean, it's not anything fancy, but it's a roof over our head, and in an area we couldn't otherwise afford. But that having been said, I know what it's like to get angry calls from tenants and all the other issues that surround it. I know what it's like to have terrible tenants that you have to evict. To have a tenant express this degree of appreciation for everything that you're doing is remarkable and wonderful, and speaks a lot about just how high of a regard they hold you in. You're obviously doing something right, and I'd encourage you to keep going, because one day, eventually, all those other tenants will come to realize just how much they rely on you, and they'll be just as grateful. Thank you so much for sharing the post, and wherever you're at, I do wish you the best. Our next post is from user Sacramento Joe 1985. But first, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you can get more of your daily dose of Reddit Happy. Learning not to just live a happy life, but to live life happy. For about 15 years, I've had a happy life. From awesome friends to amazing family to landing a killer career and a beautiful wife. Whatever you want to call it, blessing, fortune, luck, it's been one heck of a ride. But I've very recently discovered that while I've been living a happy and satisfying life, I haven't been living happy. Day to day is routine. My love for others has been in my words and actions. But something was missing. The emotional component. Maybe a dozen or two times in those 15 years has that emotion flowed through me. Then, probably triggered by the ending of a TV show, I dug for that emotion. And I found it. Waves of joy. I gave a family member a hug and not only said I loved her, but expressed it, felt it. I did the same with my roommate and then my wife. With some work, I hope to keep this flowing, to continue living not just a happy life, but to live happy. Well, OP, I think you touched on something really prolific here, in that there is a big difference between living a happy life and living life happy. You know, you can have a calm, easy, stress-free life for the most part and still find yourself devoid of emotion or miserable. But letting your emotion really kind of take root and flow through you is when you are able to actually live life happily. And there is just a profound difference once you do allow that to be a central thing in your life. Thank you so much for sharing your post here. Thank you so much for sharing this brief little insight into your journey, even as short as it may be. And wherever you're at right now, I really do wish you the best. Our next post is from user Captain Levram. Today, I got offered an internship with an amazing company. It felt like everyone around me was getting into good companies and doing such a good job with getting their life on track. I felt like I was trying hard and applying to all these places with almost nothing happening. And frankly, losing hope that maybe I wouldn't be getting a job/internship for another few months. It all changed when today I received a call from a contractor for cybersecurity and my world lit up. I think my life is about to change and I couldn't be happier. The world works in mysterious ways. You really do get the best news when you least expect it. I hope to start my internship sometime soon and gain a lot of experience. I'm not as seasoned or experienced as the other interns, but I really hope that I can learn all I possibly can learn to get into this company and move forward. Internships open up doors. I know I would not have gotten my first job out of college had I not interned for that company. to be able to get something like this, especially in the world of cybersecurity, is kind of a big deal. You're doing a lot. You're doing something highly technical, and that's becoming more and more in demand. So first off, congratulations on that. Secondly, I honestly am super excited to hear that your life is finally taking shape. I know what it's like to feel like everyone around you is getting their life on track and to feel like you're getting left behind or like you're not actually going anywhere. But like you said, the world does work in mysterious ways, and oftentimes when you least expect it, the greatest things can happen to you, even if they come through a negative experience initially. Thank you so much for sharing the post, and I'm super excited to hear about how your internship goes for you. Our next post is from user Normal Lane. After leaving high school with barely any qualifications, working nearly 10 years as a waitress, deciding in my late 20s to enter university, being diagnosed with ADHD along the way, and finally graduating with a 3.5 GPA, this morning I was offered a full-time role as a geotechnical engineer. I've still got so far to go in terms of being able to perform in this role. The transition from an academic environment to a professional environment, it's just a whole new learning experience. But it's exactly the way I wanted to start my career and what the past 5 years have all been about. Challenging myself and enjoying those challenges. Knowing I can do better. Knowing that I am smart. Knowing that I'm capable. Working towards a career which isn't soul-destroying. And finally earning enough money to feel stable. I'm usually terrible for not being able to recognize how far I've come. But following this morning's offer, I feel like at the very least, I can take these next few hours to sit down and appreciate everything which has led me to this point in my life. I start tomorrow. Wow. Congrats, OP. That is a huge, huge accomplishment. To be able to get into the career that you studied for, I'm stoked for you. I'm really excited for you. Just goes to show that hard work does actually pay off. But your story is really a good one. It really does show that your life circumstances right now don't have to define who you get to be in the future. Yeah, maybe you left high school without much in the way of qualifications anywhere, but look where you are now. With your effort, with your hard work, you have come to be exactly where you want to be. And it seems like you're finally on a path towards finding a lasting happiness and stability in your life. Yours is a great example for a lot of other people that might be struggling in seeing any sort of hope. Thank you so much for sharing your story, and let people know how the new job goes. Would love to hear an update. That was r/happy, and if you want more uplifting or wholesome stories about what's making people happy in their lives right now, then go ahead and check out the playlist link in the description below. Also, feel free to leave a comment or check us out on social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram. Now you go out there, have a great day. I will see you all tomorrow. Until then, I'm Exile451. Stay beautiful, people.